Hi everyone, in this video I am going to solve Cambridge O-Level Mathematics T paper 2, which is calculated specimen paper B for examination from 2025. Now in paper 2 as well you have given the list of formulas for the volume, areas and surface areas. Question number 1, find the reciprocal of 0.35. So first we, as calculator is allowed, so first we have to find what is 0.35, which is 7 over 20. 0.35 is 7 out of 20. So the reciprocal of 7 by 20 is 20 by 7. Question number 2, calculate this. It's a 1 mark question, so you can use a calculator. So 4 square, 4 times 4 is 16 minus 1.9 over 3.2 minus 2.6. 16 take away 1.9, 14.1 over 3.2 take away 2.6, 0.6. Now what is 14.1 divide 0.6? This is 23.5. Question number 3, the pie chart shows information about visitors to a museum on one day. Children, adults and students. Complete the table. Okay, the table is number of visitors and the pie chart sector angle. For adults, the visitors are total number of adult visitors are 108 and the pie chart sector angle is 62. Okay, 162. Okay, now the pie chart sector angle for student is given. Let's find the pie chart sector angle for children first, because as we know the whole pie chart is equals to 360 degree. So for children, what we can do from 360 degree, we have to take away the angle for adults and the students. So take away 192, 162 and 172. 360 minus 162 minus 72. 126 degrees is that pie chart sector angle. Okay. Now we have for students, we have the pie chart sector angle and for children, but we have to find the number of visitors of the students and the children. All right. All right. So here 162 degrees represents the total adults are 108. So what about 72 degrees and what about 126 degrees? Let's figure out. Okay. So if 162 degree adults angle is 108 visitors, what is 1 degree? 1 degree is 108 over 162, right? If I simplify 108 and 162, this is 2 by 3. So each 1 degree represent 2 by 3. So we have to find for 72 degrees and 126 degrees. So the 72 degree would be equals to 2 by 3 times 72. And for children, 126 degrees would be equals to, I'm multiplying both sides by 72 and 72, 126 and 126, 2 by 3 of 126. Okay, 2 by 3 of 72, this would be 48. And 2 by 3 of 126 is 84. So the number of student visitors, number of students who visit the museum in a particular day is 48 and for children is 84. The table is completed. Question number 4, Naveen and Ether share some money in the ratio. Naveen ratio Ether is 5:7. So what is the total ratio? Total is 5 plus 7, which is equals to 12. Part A, find Naveen's share as a percentage of the total money. So the Naveen is 5. Naveen's share is 5 out of the total is 12, and for percentage you have to times by 100. Okay, 5 out of 12 times by 100, this would be 41.7%, we can say. Part B, find Ether's share as a percentage of Naveen's share. Okay, so Ether is 7 and Naveen is 5 for percentage times by 100. 7 out of 5 times 100, this is 140%. Okay. Part C, Naveen's share is $160. Work out Ether's shares. Okay, $160 is for Naveen. Since Naveen is 5 in the ratio of 5, right? So 5 basically represent $160. So what 1 represent? 1 represent $160 divided by 5. So 160 over 5 would be $32. So since either share is in the ratio of 7, so what 7 represents? 7 represent in terms of dollars 7 times 32. 7 times 32 would be 224 is this share. Question number 5, we have to solve this equation. So 5 times 3 is 15. 5 times 2 is 10x equals to 17. Now minus 10x equals to 17. Shift the 15 on the other side, minus 15. Minus 10x equals to 2. From 17, take away 15 is 2. What is x? X is equals to 2 out of minus 10. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 5 is 10. So minus 1 over 5 is the answer. Question number 6, the diagram shows a trapezium ABEF. A, B, E, and F. This is a trapezium joined to a square BCDE. This is a square. ABC is a straight line. A, B, and C. This is a straight line, and AB is 7. This length is 7 centimeter. A to F, AF, and the ratio BE. They are in the ratio of 3:2. This is in the ratio of 3. This is in the ratio of 2. The area of a square is 32 centimeters square. Calculate the area of a trapezium ABEF. Okay, so area of a square, it has a formula. Area of square is equals to side square. Since the area is 32, this would be equals to side square. So what is each side? BC, CD, DE, BE. All the sides of square are same, we know. So root 32, this would be equals to each side of a square. And if we simplify, root 32 would be 4 root 2. This would be equals to 4 root 2. It means the side BE, this is 4 root 2. This is 4 root 2, 4 root 2, and 4 root 2, all of them. Okay. Now we have to calculate the area of a trapezium. For this, we have to find the side AF. We have BE. Solve for AF. Since BE is in the ratio of 2, right? So as we know, if I can do over here, okay. BE is equals to 4 root 2. This is in the ratio of 2. So 2 is basically equals to 4 root 2. So what is 1 equals to? 4 root 2 divided by 2. 2 times 2 is 4, which is 2 root 2. Now let me solve for AF. Since AF is in the ratio of 3, so AF is in the ratio of 3. So what 3 represent? 3 would be equals to 3 times 2 root 2, which is equals to 6 root 2. So this value is 6 root 2 and this value is 4 root 2. Now area of a trapezium is half sum of parallel sides. These two are the parallel sides multiplied by the height of the trapezium. So let me solve for area of trapezium is half sum of parallel sides. Parallel sides are 4 root 2 plus 6 root 2 multiplied by the height, which is 7. So this would be equals to half. 4 plus 6 would be 10 root 2 times by 7. 2 times 5 is 10. 5 root 2 times by 7. And now we have 5 times 7 is 35 root 2. So the answer is 35 root 2 square, centimeter square. 35 root 2. 49.5 centimeter square. Question number 7. The table shows the relative frequency of a bus arriving at Milltown early and arriving at Milltown on time. Okay, time of arrival, early, on time, and late, relative frequency, complete. Number A, complete the table. All right, so as we know that the sum of all the three relative frequency is equals to 1, right? So we can say 0.1 for early, 0.55 on time, plus the relative frequency for late, their sum is equals to 1. So to find the relative frequency for late from 1, we have to subtract 0.1 and subtract 0.55. 1 minus 0.1 minus 0.55, so this is 0.35. That is the relative frequency. Now for part B, during 1 week, 200 buses arrive at Milltown. Calculate the number of buses expected to arrive early. Okay, so the relative frequency for early relative frequency is 0.1. You have to times by the total number of buses. So 0.1 times 200, which is 20 buses. So out of 200 buses, 20 buses are expected to arrive early. Question number 8, part A. Calculate the exterior angle of a regular hexagon. Hexagon has 6 sides. So the formula for exterior angle is from 360 degree, you have to divide the number of sides. 360 degree divides the number of sides are 6. So 360 over 6 would be 60. So 60 is the exterior angle of a regular hexagon. Part B, the diagram shows the part of a regular hexagon, okay, the regular hexagon, and a part of a regular polygon, okay. The regular hexagon and the regular polygon are joined by a common side. This is a common side, all right. Calculate the number of sides of the regular polygon. Okay, as we know that the hexagon has 6 sides. So let me find out the measure of each interior angle of a hexagon first. Measure of each interior angle of a hexagon. This would be equals to number of sides minus 2 times by 180 degree divided by the number of sides. As we know the number of sides are 6, we can easily find out the hexagon interior angle. Hexagon interior angle. This would be 6 minus 2 times by 180 degree divided by 6. 6 minus 2 is 4 times 180 over 6. Let me simplify further. 4 times 180 over 6 would be 120 degrees. So means each interior angle of a regular hexagon is 120 degree. And what about this angle? As we know, this complete circle is 360 degree. So from 360 degree, if we subtract 100 and subtract 120, we will get the interior angle of this regular polygon. 360 minus 100 minus 120, that would be 140. So we have the interior angle of this polygon, right? Let me find out the number of sides of this polygon. For the number of sides, use the same formula. Since the interior, this formula, interior angle is 140 degree. This would be equals to number of sides minus 2 times by 180 degree divided by the number of sides. Okay. So this is 140n equals to 180n minus 360 degree. N times 180 is 180 and 2 times 180 is 360. So from 140n subtract 180n equals to minus 360. So 140 minus 180 is minus 40n equals to minus 360. What would be n? N is 360 minus 360 over minus 40. So minus is cancelled with minus, right? 0 is cancelled with 0. 4 times 9 is 36. So the number of sides of this regular polygon is 9. This is a 9-sided regular polygon. Question number 9, we have the universal set 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, from 1 to 12. No number is missing. Part A, set A, x where x is an odd number. So from 1 to 12, the odd numbers are 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and 11. Set B, x where x is a multiple of 3. Multiple of 3 is 3, 6, 9, and 12 from the universal set. Part A, list the elements of A intersection B. So A intersection B, 3 is common and 9 is common. So the two elements are 3 and 9. These are the two elements of A intersection B. Now for part B, use a set notation to describe the set 2, 4, 8, and 10. 2, 4, it's not 6, 8, and 10. Okay, so we have to describe the set. Okay, if I can take the union of A union B, 1, 3, 1 is included, 3 is in both, and then 5, and then 6, and then we have 7, we have 9, we have 11, and we have 12. Okay, if we can take A union B whole complement, the numbers that are outside of this from the universal set. Okay, 1 is here, 2, not 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can take 8, 9. We can take 10, 11, and 12 is included. So 2, 4, 8, and 10. This is A union B whole complement. Yes. Question number 10. Write the number in standard form. So move the decimal point 1 unit and 2 units to the right. So 4.73 times 10 to the power minus 2, because we are moving to the right, so the power is negative. Part B, the number in the calculation are written in standard form. Find the value of C and the value of D. Okay, so here is C and here is D. All right, so we can say 2.7 times 10 to the power 4 over, we can do a cross multiplication. This term is shifted in the denominator and this would be the numerator, the term on the other side. 2.25 times 10 to the power negative 4. This would be equals to C times 10 to the power D. Okay, we can divide both of them. This would be 2.7 over 2.25, 1.2 times 10 to the power 4, and shift this power to the numerator, becomes plus 4, right? So this would be equals to 1.2 times 10 to the power 8. So the C value is 1.2 and 10 to the power 8 is the D value. Question number 11, part A. Talia invests $1,500 in a saving account for 4 years. The account pays simple interest at a rate of 216% per year. So 6 times 2 is 12 plus 1 is 13. 13 out of 6%. This would be, what is 13 over 6? 2.167%. Okay, calculate the total interest earned she receives at the end of 4 years. So the total interest she receives. Okay, so the total interest would be, in simple interest, it has a formula I equals to PRT. So P is the investment, R is the interest rate, which is 12 over 6%, and T is the amount of years. Yes. Okay, so 13 over 6%, not 100. Okay, 13 over 6 divided by 100 times by 4 times by 1,500. $130 is the interest earned after 4 years, at the end of 4 years. Part B, Kalian also invest 1,500 in a saving account. That is an investment, the P value. The account pays a compound interest at a rate of R% per year. At the end of 5 years, the value of investment, A value, is 1,825. Calculate the value of R. Compound interest has a formula A equals to P into 1 plus R to the power T. Amount is 1,825. Investment is 1,500. 1 plus R over 100, and the T is 5 years. Let me simplify this. 1,825 divided by 1,500. This would be equals to 1 plus R over 100. Its whole power is 5. Okay, so let me take a power of 1 by 5 on both sides, or we can say the fifth root on both sides. Okay, if I can simplify this, 1825 over 1500, and its power is 1 by 5, is this much. 1 plus r over 100, this would be equals to 1.04000253. So r over 100 is 1.040, subtract 1. So from this, subtracting 1 is this much. So r would be 0.04 times it by 100, cross multiplied. This is 4%. 4.00 or 4, just 4. R is 4, interest rate is 4. Question number 12, we have to simplify part A. Okay. The square terms are 5 and negative 1 is a coefficient of x square, which is 4x square, and the x terms are negative 7 and 6 is negative x. So the simplified form is 4x square minus x, or we can take x common, so 4x minus 1 is. Part B, 4x over 9y, multiply, the division sign is turned into multiplication, and take a reciprocal of the second fraction 9y over 2a. Okay, 9 is cancelled with 9, y is cancelled with 9, 2 is cancelled with this, 4 becomes 2, so 2x over a would be the simplified answer. Wait a second, I messed up, it's 3, not 9. 3 times 3 is 9. Now it is times it by 3. So 2x over 1 times 3 over a. So 2 times 3 would be 6x over a. Yes. Question number 13. In June, fuel for a bus cost $0.32 per kilometer. Part A. In June, a bus traveled this much kilometer. Calculate the total cost of a fuel in June. Okay, in June, a fuel for a bus cost 1 kilometer. The cost of a fuel is $0.32. For 1,800 kilometers, what is the cost of the fuel? 1,800 times 0.32. 1,800 times 0.32. This is $576. Part B, in July, fuel for a bus cost 7.5% more per kilometer than in June. In July, the bus travels 1,850 kilometer. Calculate the difference in the total cost of a fuel between June and July. So this is for the June. Let me find out for July and then subtract it. So first we have to find the cost of fuel per kilometer in July, right? So for July, 1 kilometer cost of fuel. Okay, this is 7.5% more than June. So 7.5% of the cost of June is 0.32. Add this in the cost of the June, 0.32. So this is 7.5 over 100 times 0.32, add 0.32. 0.344. So this would be the cost, 0.344 for the fuel per kilometer. So it travels 1,850 kilometers. 1850 kilometers. What is the cost? 1850 times 0.344 times 1850, 636.4. $636.4. Now let me find out the difference between the June and the July. In dollars, 636.4 minus in June it was 576. Okay, subtract 576. This would be 60.4. $60.04, we can say. This would be the difference in the cost of fuel between June and July. Question number 14, part A. On a map, the distance between two cities is 7.3 centimeter. The actual distance between the two cities is 365 kilometers. The scale on this map is 1:n. Find the value of n. Okay, so the conversion between the kilometers and the centimeters. So 1 kilometer is equals to 100,000 centimeters. I'm sorry, students, I did the mistake. I know that correction fluid is not allowed in the paper, but I do not have any other printout, so I did it. I'm really sorry for that. So let me show you how to do this question. Since we know the conversion that in kilometers to centimeters, so now we have to find for 365 kilometers. 365 kilometers would be equals to 365 times 100,000 centimeters. This would be in centimeters, so divided by 7.3. 365 over 7.3 times by 100,000. This is 5 million. 5 with 6 zeros. This would be the n. So 1:5 million. That would be the scale on the map. Moving to part B, the diagram shows the position of towns A, B, and C. The towns are joined by a straight road. Okay, A to B, B to C. Okay, number 1. The bearing of A from B is 70 degree. The bearing of A from B, this is 70 degree. 070. Find the bearing of B from A. From A till this B, we have to find that bearing. All right. So to find out that bearing, so if I can extend the lines, this is a north line and this is a north line. They are joined with one line. So as we know that this angle and this angle is same. This angle is also equals to 70 degree. These two are parallel line joining with one line. Let me show you. If you have two parallel lines, they are joined. So this angle and this angle, these two are alternate angles and they are equal. So this angle is 70, this angle is also 70. And the straight line is 180 degree. So what would be the bearing? The bearing would be in 180 add 70. 180 plus 70, this would be 250 degrees. 250, that would be the bearing. Okay, second part, the bearing of C from A. The bearing of C from A is 195. Let me use a different color pen. Okay, the bearing of C from A means from A to this C, this bearing is 195 degrees. The angle BAC, B, C and A, this angle, 113. Find the bearing of C from B. Bearing of C from B. Okay. So the bearing of C from B, from north line of B till C, this would be the bearing. In 70, we have, this is 70 as we know. We have to add something to make that, to get that bearing, right? Okay. So what is that angle? As we know this angle. All right. Okay. As we know this straight line is equals to 180. And some angle, what is that angle? In 180, what we add to get 195? 180 plus 15 is 195. So this angle is 15. And this whole angle we know is 70. So what is that angle? From 70, take away 15. That angle is 55. So we have this angle, this angle. Let's find out the third angle of the triangle. From 180, subtract 113, subtract 55. So this angle is 12 degrees. In 70, add 12, 82. That would be the bearing. Yes. 082 degrees. It's a 3-mark question. So let me explain you one more time what I did. So as we know, this straight line is equals to 180 degree. right? So in 180 they add something because the bearing from A to this C is 195. In 180 if we add 15, this is 195, right? So let me show you. 180 add 15, this would be 195 degrees. That would be the bearing we have given. Okay, so if this is 15, so as we know this whole angle is 70. From 70 take away 15, you will get this inner angle for this triangle, right? From 70 degree take away 15 degree, this would be 55. That would be the angle C, A and B. CAB. As we know this angle is 15. Sum of all angles of a triangle add up to 180, right? So angle A, 113 is angle C, angle A is 55. We have to find the angle B. Their sum is equals to 180. So from here angle B we got from 180, we subtract 113 and subtract 55, and that is equals to 12 degrees. So we got this angle. Now we have to find the bearing of C from B, means from the north line of B till the C, we have to find that angle. If this angle is 70, we have to add something to get that bearing. So for the bearing in 70, we have to add 12. This would be equals to 82 degrees. So bearing should be written in 3 digits, so 082. Question number 15. P is the point 410, Q is the point -8 and 5. Find the coordinates of midpoint of PQ. So the midpoint of PQ, it has a formula adding the x components and dividing by 2. 4 minus 8 divided by 2, comma, add up the y component which is 10 and 5 and divided by 2. Here the midpoint would be -4 by 2 and 15 by 2. So this is -2, and what is 15 by 2? I guess 7.5. Yes, it's 7.5. This is a midpoint. Question number 16. Line L has an equation y equals to 6x minus 1. Part A, find the equation of line parallel to line L that passes through the point 0, 3. If when the two lines are parallel, they have the same slopes, or we can say the same gradient. The m value is the gradient, right? So the slope of this line, that the parallel line, would be equals to 6 again. Now write down the equation y equals to mx plus c. To get the c value, we have to use this point. X is equals to 0 and the y would be equals to 3. So the y-intercept is 3. So y would be equals to 6x plus 3. This would be the y-intercept. And the y-intercept is basically the c value, we know. So y equals to 6x plus 3 would be that the line which is parallel to the line L. Part B, write down the gradient of the line perpendicular to L. So the line L, 6x minus 1, it has a gradient 6, and the gradient of the line which is perpendicular is negative and the reciprocal of 6, which is -1 by 6. Keep it in mind. Question number 17. Find the integer value of x which satisfies the inequality. We have to simplify first and then we have to check it. -1 is less than equals to 4 minus 2x is less than 8. Okay, -1, -4 is less than equals to -2x is less than 8 minus 4. So we have to remove the 4, so we have to do the opposite of 4 is -4 on both sides. -5 is less than equals to -2x is less than 4. Now you have to get rid of this -2. So divide by -2 on both sides. So this is 5 by 2 is less than equals to x is less than equals to -2. What is 5 by 2? 5 by 2 is 2.5. So we can say 2.5 is less than equals to x is less than -2. It's not equal. Sorry, I did the mistake here. We have to just find out the integer values. Let me draw the number line and show you what are the integer values. If I can draw the line over here. Okay. So here we have a negative values, here we have the positive values, and in the middle we have a 0, we have 1, we have 2, we have -1, -2, we have 3. Okay, so it starts from -2, negative, okay, and let's say this is 2.5, positive 2.5. So what would be the values are between -2 to 2.5. -2 it's not filled, and 2.5 we have the equality sign. So the integer values which satisfies these inequalities are -1, 0, 1, 2, 3 is not included, and 2.5 is not the integer value. So the only integer values are -1, 0, 1, and 2. These are the integer values. Question number 18. Find the three inequalities that define the unshaded region R. This is unshaded region R, which defines. Okay, the three inequalities. The first inequality is this straight line. This line is x is equals to -4. X equals to -4, and the values which are more, sorry, this will be the more, less than -4. Unshaded region, yeah, this unshaded region, sorry, I messed up, I confused with the shaded and unshaded. This line is x equals to -4, so the unshaded region is this. So the x equals to -4, the values are more than x is greater than and equals to -4, because it is a solid line. So the first inequality is x is greater than equals to -4. All right. Okay, let's find out this line first. Okay. The x-intercept is 4 and the y-intercept is 2 for this line. So we have the point 40 and here we have the point 02. Let me figure out this line. If we have 40 and we have a point 02, we can find out the slope, which is gradient y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. y2 minus y1, which is 2 minus 0, x2 minus x1, which is 0 minus 4. This is 2 over -4. This is 1 by 2 with a negative sign. This would be the slope of the line. So y equals to mx plus c. Y equals to minus 1 by 2x plus the c values, the y-intercept, which is equals to 2. So this would be the line y equals to 1 by 2x. Or if we can further simplify, we can say y equals to minus x plus 2 times 2 is 4 over 2. Cross multiply, we can say 2y is equals to minus x plus 4, or 2y plus x is equals to 4. You can use this one or this one, both are correct. Okay, 2y plus x equals to 4. This solid line is 2y plus x equals to 4. So the unshaded one is this, the lower portion, and the solid as well. So this is less than equals. We can say the other inequality is 2y plus x is less than equals to 4. Because it is solid line, so we use the equality sign, and the lower one, it is unshaded, so it is less. Let's find out the equation of this dotted line. Okay, the x-intercept is -1, the y-intercept is 1. Let me do this. We have now the 2 points are x-intercept is -1, 0, and the y-intercept is 0, 1. So the gradient is y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. So 1 over 1, 1 is the gradient. So y equals to mx plus c. So what is the c? C is the y-intercept. Y-intercept of this line is 1. So y equals to x plus 1, because the gradient is just 1. So this line is y equals to x plus 1. Okay, now this is the dotted line, so we are not using the equality, right? And its upper portion is unshaded. So y is greater than x plus 1 is an equality. Y is greater than x plus 1. So these are the three inequalities which satisfy the unshaded region R. Question number 19, we have the function f of x and g of x. Part A, we have to find number 1, g of negative 8. This would be 7 plus 2 into minus 8. This is 7 minus 2 times 8 is 16. From 7 take away 16 is negative 9. Part B, find g f of 5. So g, what is f of 5? 2 into 5 square minus 3 into 5. Okay, so g of 2 into 5 square. 5 square is 25 and 2 times 25 is 50. And minus 3 times 5 is 15. So 35. G of 35 we have to solve. G of 35 would be 7 plus 2 into 35. 2 times 35 add up 7, which is 77. Okay. The next one is find g inverse of x. Okay. So you have to put y equals to g of x. Switch the variables x equals to 7 plus 2y. Solve for y. X minus 7 divided by 2. This would be my y. So x minus 7 over 2. This is g inverse of y. G inverse of x. Part B. Find f of x plus 6. Give your answer in this form. Okay. F of x minus 6. X is replacing 2 into x is x minus 6. Its square minus 3 into x minus 6. 2 into, open the square formula, a minus b whole square. A square minus 2ab plus b square. First term square is x square minus, it's a negative sign, so minus 2 times x times 6. 2 times 6 is 12x plus the second term square would be 6 square is 36 minus 3x. Negative times negative is positive. 3 times 6 is 18. Further simplification, this is 2x square minus 24x plus 2 times 12 is 24. What is 2 times 36? 108. 108 minus 3x plus 18. This is 2x square. The x terms are 24, 25, 26 and 27. So negative 27x. 108 add 18. 126. Wait a minute. What I did over here. 2 times 36 is 72. And 72 add up 18 is 90. So the equation in the form ax square plus bx plus c would be 2x square minus 27x plus 90. Part C, use the quadratic formula to solve f of x minus 6 equals to 0. Show all your working and give your answer correct to 2 decimal place. F of x minus 6 equals to 0. F of x is 2x square minus 3x minus 6 equals to 0. Apply the quadratic formula over here. So x is equals to negative of the b value, which is minus 3, plus minus square root b square, which is negative 3 square, minus 4 times the a value times the c value, divided by 2 times of the a value is 2. Further simplification, negative times negative is positive 3 plus minus square root, which is minus 4 times 2 times minus 6, and add up with 3 square, 57, and divided by 2 times 2 is 4. Now we have two solutions with the positive and with the negative. We have to find up to 2 decimal place. So let's do this. 3 plus root 57 divided by 4, 2.637, 2.64 if you round it to 2 decimal place, right? The second is 3 minus root 57 divided by 4. This is minus 1.14. You have to round to 2 decimal place. Question number 20. In this question, all lengths are in meters. The diagram shows the positions A, B, C, and D in a football pitch. Part A show that the angle CA and D, this angle is 86.2 degrees, correct to one decimal place. This is 86.2 degrees. We have to show this. Okay. If we consider the triangle A, C, and D, as we know all the three sides we know, we have to find the angle. So we have to apply law of cosine over here. Law of cosine on triangle A, C, and D. Okay, so this angle we have to find. Its front side is 20, it's square. The rest of the two sides equals to the 10 square plus 18 square minus 2 into 10 into 18, and cos of the angle A, we can say. This we have to work on. Okay, to get this angle we can say 20 square minus this 10 square minus this 18 square. You have to shift these terms on the other side and divide it by, because it is product, so it is divide, minus 2 into 10 into 18. Here you will get cos of angle A. All right, let me simplify the numerator first. 20 square minus 10 square minus 18 square minus 24 divides minus 2 into 10 into 18 minus 360. Negative is cancelled with negative. 24 over 360 would be 1 over 15. This is 1 over 15 and this would be equals to cos of A. Let me solve that angle. Angle A would be equals to cos inverse of 1 over 15. You have to find in degrees. My calculator is in degrees. Cos inverse 1 over 15. Up to 2 decimal place, yes, 86.17. 86.17, and up to 2 decimal place angle A would be 86.2 degrees. It's proved. Now for part B, calculate the obtuse angle ACB. AC and B. AC and B. This is an obtuse angle. All right. So if we can look at the triangle A, B, and C, we have the two sides and one angle. We have to find the one more angle. We can apply the law of sine. Angle its front side, angle its front side. The law of sine is valid. Okay, apply law of sine on triangle ABC. Okay, we have to find sine C over its front side is 35 meters equals to sine of the angle 27 degrees over this angle, and its front side is 18. We can easily find out sine C would be equals to 35 cross multiplied over 18 and times by sine 27 degrees. Obtuse angle it is, so we must have to use the ambiguous case of the sine law. Let me show you. 35 out of 18 times it by sine 27 degrees. C would be equals to sine inverse of 0.8827. Okay, sine inverse of answer. C would be equals to 61.977, or we can say 62 degrees is that angle, right? So this is an obtuse angle, so we have to use the ambiguous case of sine law. For obtuse angle, sine law has an ambiguous case. You must have the concept of the sine rule and the cosine rule for this question. So for obtuse angle ACB, from 180 degree, subtract that angle 62 degrees. We will get the answer. So 118.022. 118.023 or 118 degrees is that obtuse angle. So this angle is 118 degrees. Now for part C, a player runs directly from B to D in a time 3.5 5.3 seconds. Calculate the average speed of the player. He runs directly from B to D. B to D directly he runs. Okay. And the time it takes it 5.3 seconds. If I join B to D directly from B to D, so we have to find the length. What is BD? Because for speed, we need to find the distance over time. We don't know the distance. For average speed is total distance traveled from B to D over total time taken from B to D is 5.3 seconds. Okay, so the distance should be in meters and the time is already in seconds, which we have given. Okay, so let me find out BD. For this, we have this length is 10, this length is 35. Let me figure out this angle and the whole of it. As we know, this angle is 27, this is 118. What is that angle? From 180, subtract 118 and subtract 27. You will get that angle because sum of all angles of a triangle add up to 180. So 180 minus 118 and minus 27, this is 35 degrees is that angle. So if we consider the triangle A, B and D, what is that angle? In 35, add 82, 86.2. 121.2 is the whole angle. Let me draw this triangle separately over here. The player runs from B to D directly. There is A and that angle is, we have done this angle 121.2. 1 to 1.2 degrees, and A to B length is given 35 meters and A to D length is given, which is 10 meters. Okay, so we have to apply law of cosine over here because we have the angle and the two sides. Find out the front angle of front side of that angle. We have to use a law of cosine to get the length, right? So we can say BD, its square, equals to 10 square plus 35 square minus 2 into 10 into 35 and cos of the angle between the two sides, which is 1 to 1.2 degrees. Let me simplify. Cos 121.2 times it by 35 times it by 10 times it by negative 2. Add 35 square, add 10 square. This is BD, and take a square root of 1687.6. Square root of answer, this is 41.1. 41.1 meters is the distance. The total distance traveled. The player runs directly from B to D, so he travels a total distance of 41.1 meters. Now we have to find the average speed. As we know that speed is total distance traveled over total time taken. The total distance traveled is 41.1 meters and the total time taken is 5.3 seconds, and we have to find the answer in meter per second. So just simplify. This divides with 5.3. So 7.75 meter per second is the average speed of the player. Question number 21. F is inversely proportional to the cube of G. F is inversely proportional to G cube. When F is 0.5, G value is 3. Okay, so we can say F is equals to some constant of proportionality. K is a constant of proportionality. You can take any variables. I have received many comments that why you are taking K. You can take any variable into 1 over G cube. We have to solve for K. Cross multiply F G cube equals to K. So when F is 0.5 and the G value is 3, solving for K. 3 cube is 27 times 0.5, it is 13.5 is the K value. So we have done with the K, which is 13.5. Now for part A, find F in terms of G. F is equals to K is 13.5 into 1 over G cube. This is F in terms of G. So F is equals to 13.5 over G cube. F in terms of G. Part B, G is increased by 100%. This G is increased by 100%. Find the percentage change in F. Okay, so G is increased by 100%. Keep this in mind. We have to find the percentage change in F. So the F is basically 13.5 over G cube. So the first case we can take when G is equals to, let's say G is some variable B. Take a variable G for B, right? So what is my F? F would be equals to 13.5 over B cube, right? Now the next is, this is F1 when G is equals to 2B, because it is increasing 100%. B, 2B, 3B, right? Now what would be the F2 value? F2 value is 13.5 over 2B whole cube. This is 13.5 over 8B cube. Okay, so we can write down F1 and F2. We can write down F2 in terms of F1. So F2, this would be equals to 13.5 over B cube multiply 1 over 8. So what is 13.5 over B cube? This is F1. So F2 is equals to F1 over 8. This is F1, this is F2, right? Okay, now we have to find out their change. So what is their change? The change in F2 and F1. So the change would be F2 is F1 over 8 minus F1. So this is F1 is common, 1 minus 8 over 8. This is negative 7 over 8 F1. This would be the change. Now let me find out the percentage of that change. So percentage change is their change is minus 7 over 8 F1 over F1 multiplied by 100. F1 is cancelled out with F1. What is 7 by 8 over 1 times by 100, which is minus 87.5%. Okay, let me explain you one more time. Since in the question we have given that G is increased by 100%, so we can take the G value, some variable B, 2B, 3B, 4B, so it is increasing 100%. So if we take B, we will get F1. If we take 2B, we will get F2. Now write down the F2 in terms of F1 and F1 as F1. Right now we have to find the change. Whenever we do the change, we do the second term subtract the first term, right? So second function subtract the first function, you will get this change. So for percentage change, we always have to find out the change divided by the first one and multiply by 100. This is a formula for percentage increase, percentage decrease, right? So the change in the percentages divided by the original one multiplied by 100. So the percentage change in the F value is it decrease 87.5% when the G increase 100%. Question number 22. The area of a triangle is 12 meter square. Area of a triangle is given, which is correct to the nearest square meter. Square meter, same unit. So whenever you have correct to the nearest, so it is 1 square meter. So you divide it by 2. 1 by 2 is 0.5. You have to add and subtract 0.5. So area of triangle is equals to 12. Add 0.5 and you have to do 12 subtract 0.5, and this is 12.5 and this would be 11.5. So this would be the upper bound and that would be the lower bound. Okay, next, the base of a triangle is 5.7 meter, correct to the nearest 0.1 meter. So 0.1 divided by 2, I guess this is 0.05. Let me double check. Yes, 0.05. So you have to add and subtract. So the base of triangle is 5.7 add 0.05, 5.7 subtract 0.05. Okay, 5.7 add 0.05, this would be 5.75, and 5.7 subtract 0.05 would be 5.65. Both are in meters, right? Now the question is calculate the smallest possible height, means the lower bound. This would be the upper bound, this would be the lower bound. Okay, rewrite the formula for area of a triangle. Yes, area of triangle is half base times height. Okay, area of a triangle is half. We have to solve for the height, so we can say area multiply by 2 divided by base, this would be my height. Okay, so or we can say the height would be equals to 2 times of area divided by the base. Now the question is find the smallest possible, means the lower bound for this. Okay, so the height lower bound, since the height is in terms of quotient, it is in division, so the lower bound of the numerator and the upper bound of the denominator we have to use, right? So the height lower bound, this would be equals to 2 into area lower bound. Area lower bound of area is this, and the upper bound of, yes, base is this. Lower bound of area is 11.5 and the base upper bound is 5.75. Simplify and get the answer. 2 times 11.5 divided by 5.75, this is equals to 4. So the height is 4 meters. This is the smallest possible value of height. Question number 23. The diagram shows the frustum of a cone. The frustum has a base radius 0.6 meters and a vertical height 0.48. This is a frustum. It's a base area and the vertical height. The vertical height of the original cone is 1.44 meters. Calculate the total surface area of a frustum. So the total surface area of a frustum is basically the curved surface area of this larger cone, subtract the curved surface area of the smaller cone, because smaller cone is not included into the frustum. That would be the curved surface area of the frustum plus the surface area of the top one, which is the circle, plus the surface area of the bottom one, which is the circle. That would be the total surface area of the frustum, right? Okay, so as you guys can see, there are two cones, the larger one and the smaller one. Okay, so if we have, this would be the height of the larger cone, right? Let me find out the height of the smaller cone. What would be this height? So this height is from the total 1.44, we have to subtract 0.48. This would be the height of the smaller cone. 1.44 minus 0.48, this would be 0.96 meters. That is the height of the smaller cone. Okay, now we have the height of the larger cone, the height of the smaller cone, and we have the radius of the larger one, but we don't know the radius of the smaller one. This would be the radius of the smaller one. Okay, as you can see, the larger cone and the smaller cone, they are mathematically similar. When one shape is inside of the other, it is obvious that they are mathematically similar, right? So their ratios of their corresponding sides are equal. So if I can draw here the larger and the smaller one, okay, so if I can say this one is the larger cone, and its larger cone has a vertical height of 1.44 and the base radius is 0.6. We have to find the slant height L as well for the larger cone. This is the height and this is the radius R, right? Now for the smaller, we don't know the radius r, we don't know the slant height l, and we have the height, which is 0.96, which is small h. Okay, let me solve for r first. As we know that the two cones are mathematically similar. Two cones are mathematically similar, so the ratios of their corresponding sides are equal. We have to solve for this small radius. The ratio of the smaller radius over the larger radius would be equals to the height of the smaller one over the height of the larger one. The ratio of the smaller over the ratio of the larger radius is 0.6. Height of the smaller is 0.96 and the height of the larger is 1.44. Let me solve for the radius of the smaller one. So this would be 0.6, it is cross multiplied, times 0.96 over 1.44. Let me solve this and get the radius. 0.6 times 0.96 divide 1.44, this would be 0.4. So 0.4 radius is 0.4 meters. This is 0.4 for the smaller cone, the radius. Let me find out the slant heights L for both of them. Okay. As they make a right angle triangle, we can easily find out their slant heights L by using Pythagoras theorem. Do this one. Hypotenuse square would be equals to the sum of square of the other two sides of the triangle. So what is L? L would be equals to 1.44 square plus 0.6 square and take its square root. The L is 1.56 meters. Let me solve for the other L. This would be small l square would be equals to 0.96 and 0.4. Okay, so this L would be equals to, this is a small l, 0.96 square plus 0.4 square root of answer. This is 1.04 meters. We have the slant heights now. 1.04 and this would be 1.56. Okay. Now we have to find the curved surface area of the larger cone and the curved surface area of the smaller cone, right? So keep in mind that the curved surface area of cone, this is equals to pi RL. It has a formula. Okay. Now the curved surface area of large cone, this is pi, radius and L. So pi, its radius is 0.6 and its L is 1.56. Okay, and we have to find the curved surface area of small cone. Let's say this is the area 1 and this is area 2. This is pi RL. Pi, the radius is 0.4 and L is 1.04. Let me simplify. 0.6 into 1.56 into pi. This radius is 2.941 meter square area. The other is 0.4 into 1.04 into pi. 1.307 meter square. Okay, so as we know, this is a frustum only. So how can we find the area of that frustum? We have to first find the curved surface area of the frustum, the surface area of the top circle, the surface area of the bottom circle. That would be the total surface area of the frustum, right? So the curved surface area of the frustum, we will get this curved surface area of the frustum from the larger cone. We have to subtract the smaller cone. We will get the curved surface area of the frustum, right? So let me show you. We have given the blank paper as well, thank God. Okay, so now curved surface area of frustum. TUM, yes, frustum. The curved surface area of the larger from the total larger one, subtract the smaller one. The larger one is this and the smaller one is this, or we can say A1 minus A2. Let me use it. So this would be equals to 2.941 subtract 1.307. Okay, 2.941 minus 1.307, 1.634. 1.634 meters square. That would be the curved surface area of the frustum, right? Now we have to find the surface, this curved surface area is done. The surface area of the top of the frustum, which is a circle, and the bottom of the frustum, which is a circle. Area of a circle is pi r square and its radius is 0.4, and here the radius is 0.6, right? So we can say total surface area of frustum is equals to curved surface area of frustum plus top area plus bottom area. So the curved surface area is done, which is 1.634. The top area is a circle, which is pi r square. The bottom area is a circle, which is pi r square. The top radius is 0.4. The bottom radius is 0.6. Do this one. 1.634 plus pi 0.4 square plus pi 0.6 square. Okay, 0.4 square times it by pi 1.634 plus we can say 0.503 and 0.6 square times it by pi 1.131, 3 decimal place. Let me add them up. 1.634 plus 0.503 plus 1.131, 3.6268 meters square. Okay, let me simplify the answer up to 2 decimal place. So the simplified answer is equals to 3.27 meters square. That would be the total surface area of the frustum. So we can write this down over here, 3.27. Okay, a meter square. So that's the last question of our paper. If you have any queries, please let me know in the comment section and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Take care.